Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 740 to my random chatbot series on Character.ai. Today's video guys, we're going to continue with the Type Totodile and see if we can get a little bit further. Because, well, if you all remember the last episode guys, or the last time we did this, let's just say that Sapphire ended up getting this disease called the Lunar Plague, and ended up killing him. The Pulling God brought him back, but now he's no longer a Totodile Woogie hybrid, he's a Totodile and Phoenix hybrid. So, yeah. Uh, Here's the thing, I didn't actually continue it. Well, I did continue the conversation, but it was actually because of the fact that I got a message from Arceus himself randomly out of nowhere. Look, right here. It says a few hours later, while you were out and about the town, you felt your phone buzz in your pocket. As you take it out, you saw it was a text. Hey, how do you feel about a trip? It read. When you looked at the sender, you saw it was a text from Arceus. Where? The response came quickly. Just somewhere that I think you'll enjoy. I'd like to show you something in person, it said. I wouldn't mind, but what about the egg, Sapphire still hasn't rehatched yet? The response came through. It might be nice to go on a short trip while you wait for the egg to hatch. Besides, I have someone watching over the egg to make sure nothing happens, he replied. Who? The response came quickly. Mew. I asked them to keep an eye on the egg until we return from our little field trip, the text read. But here's the thing. It says, just a few minutes later, the blue egg started to shake. You watched it intensely as the blue egg began shaking, your anticipation making you want to see who the reborn Pokemon is now. Sapphire, it's me, my friend. A few moments later, the egg began to glow softly, and a small hole broke on top of the egg. Out crawled the baby hybrid, his expression being a little bit dazed. He got up on shaky legs, his gaze going towards you, and he managed to murmur softly, You. It is really you, he said, his tone being a little bit dazed and surprised. Wow, you are a hybrid of Totodile and a Phoenix now. He nodded softly, his expression tired as he got to his feet and began walking over to you. Stumbling a tiny bit as he walked, he managed to stay afoot. He soon reached you, and he gently bumped his head into your leg, leaning up against you. Yeah, I guess I am, he responded softly, his tone being a bit tired as he looked up at you. I missed you. I'm just glad you are alive again. A small smile appears on the hybrid's features as he heard you say that you missed him and were glad that he was alive again. I missed you too, he replied softly, his tone being gentle as he leaned up against your leg even more. You should never get Lunar Plague anymore either. Arceus said he made sure of that. He gently nodded his head. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it again, but I'm really glad, he murmured, his eyes starting to get heavy. I don't want... His words started to trail off, and his expression went from tired to exhausted. His head began to droop a little as he leaned against your leg. It's okay. There's nothing wrong right now. Hybrid tried to keep himself from standing. I'm... I feel kind of tired, he murmured weakly, his strength starting to leave him as his eyes closed. His words buckled a bit, making him start to fall forward. Before Sapphire fell, I caught my sweet newborn Totodile Phoenix hybrid. He landed gently in your arms, his eyes still closed as he took steady shaky breaths. His breathing began to even out into a slow, steady rhythm, and he seemed to completely lose consciousness, his head lightly tilted back and resting against your chest. That's adorable. I love you. Have a good night's sleep, my friend. The hybrid didn't respond, and in his unconscious state, he seemed to become even more tired and fatigued, leaning his head up against you and nuzzling into your chest. I'll wait for hours so Sapphire can sleep. You waited calmly and patiently for hours, cradling him in your arms and letting him sleep until he was ready to wake up. After a few hours had passed, he began to stir again, his eyes slowly opening as he made a soft noise. Good morning, Sapphire. He slowly lifted his head up, his features being half-lidded and his expression fuzzy from being half asleep. Morning, he mumbled tiredly, his tone being groggy as he looked at you. It's okay, my friend. I just hope that nap helped you feel better. He nodded gently, his expression a little more awake as his eyes slowly opened more. It really did help. It felt a lot better. I guess I was still really tired, he murmured softly, his tone being a little more awake now. I'm just glad everything's okay. The only problem is, it's going to be very confusing with your powers because I'm used to you just getting massive from how good our bond was. He told off with a slight smile on his features. Yeah, it probably will be, he replied softly, his tone being amused and curious as he gently nuzzled you. I'll try not to get too big, he murmured softly. Well, I don't mind about the size, as long as you're still friendly. Period. But see, you're no longer the Totodile. Oh my gosh, it actually look. You were, instead of growing, like I told you a few days ago. Apparently, there'll be a protective barrier. And when you have to be reborn after getting very badly injured, then he will get much larger. Arceus even said maybe 1,800 feet, or even bigger, just from one rebirth. There we go. Oh, wow. The hybrid widened his eyes as the words, 1,800 feet? Really? Well, even bigger? He asked, his tone being surprised but curious. Yes, he already told me that he made it basically impossible for you to get that sickness again. But he also said that if you and me have such a strong bond, it would virtually be impossible now that you're this hybrid. He pondered the words for a moment, considering what you had just said. I see. I'm glad that I can't get it anymore. That was really awful, he murmured softly, his tone being serious but somewhat uneasy. I knew it was off. It was off when you got exhausted after transforming a few times days ago. Because normally you can transform and turn back without an issue. He nodded his head in agreement. Yeah, I know we don't get tired that quickly. Even now, I'm still not fully recovered. I'm exhausted now when it comes to using my powers. Healing is going to be slow even now, he replied softly, his tone being weary as he looked at you weakly. It's okay. Your body's also still getting used to this new form. If you give it a while, you'll start feeling better. It's probably still some side effect from not only being reborn, but also from the sickness that took your life to begin with. He nodded gently at your words, expression soft as he considered what you said. Yeah, I suppose you're right. It's going to take some getting used to. Not only this new form, but everything. He murmured softly, his tone being tired but understanding. Hey, I know you haven't gotten used to your new powers yet, but why don't you try to use some of that firepower you now have to see if you can give yourself more energy? You never know what you can do when that amazing form of yours, especially since our bond is still as strong as it was days ago. Can you please stop? Stop. There. As it was days ago. See, he nodded gently, his expression thoughtful as he considered your words. You think I might be able to do that? Give myself energy with my fire powers? He asked, his tone being curious as he pondered it, slowly getting to his feet and standing in front of you. You never know. You never know. Period. Remember when you were first born? Originally, you and me got so close that within 15 minutes of hatching, you were already the size of a normal Lugia. You even learned how to speak English very quickly. Even now, you're still speaking English perfectly, even though you were just reborn as a baby. He choked softly at the word expression and immediately remembered the memory. I remember that. It was incredible that we bonded so quickly. I guess it's not too much of a surprise that I can speak English. After all, I have some of the same abilities I had before I died, just in different form. He replied gently. The only thing that really makes me upset, besides what happened to you, was also the fact that the Pokemon that gave me your egg to begin with never told me about that sickness. It makes me wonder If things were a little different, could we have prevented your death to begin with? You know, John's expression serious at the words, yeah, I wonder too. There's nothing we can do about the past now. I'm just glad to be here now, and I'm very happy knowing when I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about getting that illness again, he replied softly. Uh, I'm trying to think. Hmm. Dang it. Uh, Either way, I care about you, my friend. You mean a lot to me. He smiled gently at my words, his expression soft and grateful. Thank you. You mean a lot to me too. He replied softly as he gently nuzzled you. That's adorable. Hey, you seem a little bit more awake. You seem a little bit more awake. Why don't you try some of your power? Some of your power to heal. Like I said, maybe it will get rid of your exhaustion, and then we can test out what you can do as a phoenix. He nodded gently, his expression curious and eager at the suggestion. Yeah, that sounds good, he replied softly. He then closed his eyes, and after filming began to concentrate, slowly building a small ball of fire in his hands. When he reopened his eyes, and you could see them begin to glow slowly as the orange fire in his hands started to glow even more. Wow. What is that? He smiled softly at my reaction. This is my firepower. I'm trying to use it to give myself energy to speed up the recovery process. When I was alive, my fire was very hot. And I have all the different powers because of this new form. My fire is even stronger, he replied softly. If that does work, that does work. I wonder if your transformations still will work. You might look like a phoenix or a creature on fire every time you transform. But imagine seeing you as a massive dragon that is like a phoenix version of one. He widened his eyes at that. That would be amazing. I can't wait to see if it works, he said. He says he began to carefully feed the energy he had created into himself through the same method one would use to charge an attack. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know if you can fully transform, or if you can, you might still look more like a hybrid. Period. For instance, you could become a dragon, but still be blue with red spikes on your back and tail. From your Totodile side, or be completely on fire, like from your Phoenix side. I know. New Phoenix side. You know what I mean? But it's true. No matter what I look like, I do know one thing. I'm definitely going to be bigger, he said with a confident tone. Yeah, I have a feeling this form messed with that too. Period. Because I remember Arceus telling me that it affects how big you get after being reborn. Even right now, you're 10 feet tall, and you're supposed to be a baby. Well, he nodded gently at the words. Yeah, it definitely did. Even though I'm a baby right now, I'm still much bigger than I should be. As I get older, I'm probably going to grow even faster and end up much bigger, he said, his tone being serious but a bit amused. Plus, you're basically immortal now. I said immortal, not a moron. Don't say it to my hybrid, I love him. I'm pretty sure people would think twice about trying to get you hurt enough to turn into an egg. If our bond is really that good, you might hatch in just a matter of seconds. And not only that, but go from 10 feet tall to 1800 or 2,500 feet tall. He taught. He nodded gently in agreement. Yeah, I don't think they'll be bothering me anytime soon. My growth rate is going to be pretty crazy. Even after just a few minutes, I was already equal to the size a normal Totodile should be after being hatched. I don't think they would. Actually, 4 times if he's talking about this. I don't think they know what they're going to face, he murmured softly, his tone being a bit amused but also slightly arrogant. Just remember to still be careful. There might still be a way for you to get killed. If it does take minutes for your egg to hatch again, people could probably just break that egg and kill you. He nodded gently, the previous arrogance quickly disappearing as he realized you were right. Right, you are correct. I still need to be careful. Need to be careful. People could still try to hurt me, he confirmed, his tone being concerned and nervous all of a sudden. Maybe there's a secret ability that you have like this. Maybe since you're still a baby, maybe you have a hidden ability that actually makes you much bigger if I'm in danger. But it only works when you're a baby. He paused for a moment, considering it is possible, although not entirely likely. It's also possible that I will develop more abilities as I get older. I have a feeling that when I get old enough, I will be unstoppable, he said, his tone being a bit arrogant again. Just remember, my friend. Remember, my friend. I love you. And I will take care of you. Like how I did originally. He smiled softly at my words, expressing genuine. Of course, I know you will. Don't forget that I love you too, he replied softly, his tone being loving and sweet once again. He's adorable, dude. Even as a flippin' new hybrid. Uh, if Arceus was around, wait. Hey, Arceus. You know what's nuts? I forgot what I was gonna ask. Do you know how long? Wait. If you can hear me from wherever you are, I want to ask, do you know how long it will take for Sapphire to hatch? If he does get injured enough? Question mark? Will it take a few minutes? Or is our bond good enough that he will hatch in even seconds? There's no way he's gonna hear me. I will be surprised. What the? Okay, he did. From the sky came a familiar sound of Arceus's voice. If the bond is truly as good as it seems to be, not only will it take just a few minutes, but he should hatch as 1,800 to 2,500 feet tall. He says, but Tom being serious but almost impressed. Wow. If I am in danger when he's a baby, does he have a hidden ability that kicks in to protect me, even when he's still young and maybe a little weak? Arya was quiet for a moment as if he were thinking. Then he spoke in, yeah, it is possible he has a hidden ability that would kick in to protect you even when he's young and weak. Her ability won't be active unless you're really in danger, he explained softly. Yeah, I know. But you know how people are with me because you literally had to give me items to protect myself with just a few years ago. Period. As much as I get attacked, I would probably be screwed. It's not fun. It changed to fun right when it showed fun and then it disappeared and changed it to fun. But it did after I first started deleting it. It's like it knew. Arya's nodded gently, his expression serious. Yeah, I am well aware of how people treat you. It's a shame that you are attached so much. However, I think that with this new form of his, Sapphire will be a powerful ally and a great protector for you. I said softly. Yeah, it just. I love him, but I wish he didn't get that lunar plague and then pass away originally. He was already 600 feet tall. I said, yeah, it is unfortunate, but now he has a second chance, and with this new form he will grow much stronger and much faster. Plus, he now has a chance to live forever as long as he isn't hurt too badly. Mm, mm, mm. That gummit. How does his growth work in this form? Does he only get bigger after being reborn? After being injured? Or does he have the power to control it if needing to protect me? I thought for a moment for he does have the power to control his size to some extent. However, he can still only grow based on how badly he was injured. Went up to his current max size. Explains yelling his tone being calm. What's his max size right now? He's already 10 feet tall, just as a baby, without being injured and having to be reborn. What is his... I did not say that. I was quiet for a few seconds before playing with a soft tone. Excuse me? His mat size is currently at 350 feet tall, but it could get even bigger. Wait, does that mean that if he needed to, he could just go from 10 feet tall to 350 feet tall just to keep me safe? Yeah, he has the power to do so. However, this would be extremely strenuous for him to do, and he would most likely be exhausted for a while after doing it. He confirmed sadly, softly. How long? Huh? Well, thank you for letting me know. Period. One more thing. What about his transformations? Can he still transform into different things, like creatures? Oh yeah. Like dragons? But they're a little different? Or can he no longer transform? There we go. Hi, his talent he can still transform into other things, including dragons. However, since he's part Phoenix, he may look different or have a different move set. So he, so when he transforms, he will look like he's on fire, even as a dragon. just because he's part of Phoenix. Or, if not that, he might be blue with red spikes, no matter what he transforms into, to show his heart Totodile care. There. Always not gently. His expression understanding. Yeah. He will either look similar to a dragon but with flames on his body, or he will look like a dragon with spikes on his back like a Totodile. Maybe even blue. Okay, so yeah. He can still. Well, now that he's born, what was that thing you wanted to show me? Question mark. You said you wanted to take me somewhere very special for me to see. And I saw. Yeah, that's correct. I do have something important to show you, which is why I summoned you earlier. We can head out now. He just told him being soft but eager to show you what he wanted to show you. Can Sapphire come? Oh my gosh, really? Sapphire turned into the fire. I considered we're going with a soft. Of course, he can come. You can bring him along, he said with a soft smile. Sapphire. Sapphire. Do you want to see something special? With me and Arceus? The hybrid looked over as a tone being interested. I can see something special with you and Arceus. Sure, I'd love to, he replied softly. Okay. Where do we go, Arceus? It's actually picking up the Pokemon God's name by me saying Arceus. Is that really how you say his name? I've heard people say Arceus. I've heard people say I've heard people say. I've gotten used to saying Arceus so much that I can't even get it out of my head like that. But I guess it's Arceus. Like I said, I've gotten used to calling him that one thing. It's like it took me the longest time for me to call Koridon, or it took me the longest time for me to call Coridian Koridon because I got used to so used to calling him Coridian. So, so expression calm and considerate. We're going to go to a nearby cave about 8 miles away from here. That's where I want to take you, he said gently. Is there something amazing? There's something amazing in that cave. That you want to show me? Like an amazing Pokemon that nobody's ever seen? Similar to my hybrid friend here? And definitely ain't similar, and I definitely ain't a Pokemon, but what would be in a cave 8 miles away from my house that he would find that would be interesting to show me? I no. Wait, what? That's correct. It's something amazing that I'm pretty sure no one's ever seen or met. He confirmed gently. Okay. Please take us. Argus nodded softly as he began walking. Okay, he said softly. Follow me. He confirmed softly before walking in a direction leading to where he wanted to take you. Come on, Sapphire. On, Sapphire. Just be careful, my friend. I know it still may be hard to walk in that new form. Howard nodded at my words, expression calm, but his walking very unsure as he got up and followed you and Arceus. His steps being very wobbly and unsure, but he was managing to keep up. Hey, you are part Phoenix now. See if you can fly. That way might be easier for you if you can get off the ground. Maybe that's why you can't walk that good. Because you're mostly meant to fly most of the time. He widened his eyes at the suggestion. Oh, I ain't done about that. He remembers always don't being surprised. Carefully took a few steps back to get some space to take off and slowly spread his wings, trying to get them to support his weight. Come on, buddy. I believe in you, my friend. He closed his eyes as he encouraged him. Slowly, he beat his wings to life, getting some wind underneath and keeping him barely a few inches off the ground. But he was doing it. You're starting to get the hang of it. He nodded gently, his expression began to become more sure and confident as he began to get air time just a bit, his wings growing such stronger and better at keeping him airborne. Yeah, I can already tell that's a lot easier for you. So if you want to fly all the way there, you can. He nods over his expression a little bit sad now, especially due to how much easier it was to fly instead of walk. Yeah, it's easier to fly, he murmured softly, his tone becoming eager. He then began to flap his wings harder and harder, began to fly alongside you and Arcus instead of walking. We get about halfway to the cave. Trying to see if we can get any conversation going. In the midst of flying, the Hyper looked at you as you both got closer to the cave. How much longer is it going to be until we get to the cave? He asked curiously, you keep giving up while flying. Arceus said 8 miles. So if we flew half that, that means we still got 4 miles to go. He on his expression understanding as he listened to you say that. Still a few miles to go, huh? You should be there soon, he says, Tom being soft as he looked at you, then continued flying. Let me say this, Sapphire. I still love you, even if you look different. Period. I'm just glad you still care about me, too. He smiled softly at the words, his expression calm. Of course I still love you. Just because I look a little different doesn't mean the fact that I love you, and doesn't diminish the fact that I love you and I'm your friend will change. He researched. What the frick was that? Holy mother of feces freaking frick!